in the product development related to woven textiles in different states of India. In the last 15 years, I was part of so many products which brought revolution in the field of design automation in the woven textiles. So we developed many of these products in the last 10 to 15 years, and many of the RVC students and the staff are part of these projects. Number of products which are developed or being installed in different parts of the country and successfully has been using for many years in the field. So I'm going to present to you what was the necessity of each product, how we solved the problem by developing the required product, what technologies we have been used, so that it will be an inspiration or it will be a case study for many of you when you want to take a product development. So I will be discussing about the three products, three smart systems which we have developed. So one is a fully computerized automatic textile card punching machine, other is electronic jacquard for hand loom and power looms, and there is computerized core mat weaving loom. I'll go step by step so that we can understand the technology used and to realize these products. Before going into the products, let's understand what is textiles, how the fabric is manufactured in the country. So if you know that textile industry accounts to 14% of industrial production in India, it contributes to 30% of total exports. After agriculture, it generates a lot of employment, which is the second largest employment generator. And you believe it or not, the fabric or the cloth is manufactured in an equipment or in a machine which is called as a loom. So I have indicated the two looms. So these looms, India has the highest number of loom installations in the world. So millions of these type of looms are spread over in different parts of the country, starting from Banaras to Dharmavaram in Andhra Pradesh, Doddaballapur and Anaikal in Karnataka, so many places, every places. So when you look at the machine, the loom, which produces the cloth, there are two types of there. If you look at the first one, this is a hand loom. In the sense, the shuttle movement, or there is no machine, there is no motorized system will be there to operate the loom. Everything they operate through the hands. Look at the second one. If you look at the second one, it's very clear that it is being machinized completely. The motor is used to drive this machine, and operator is required to weave the cloth, but the machine is motorized here. Here, more effort is required in hand loom, less effort is required in a power loom. But always, certain varieties of the cloth, certain qualities, what you get in a hand loom, you will never get in the power loom. That is why always some of the people, even today, they prefer a sari woven from the hand loom only. Now, what is the process involved in weaving the cloth? Look at this diagram, what is there in the left side. You cannot produce the color in the weaving. So this machine uses the color thread, that's all. You cannot create the color at the time of weaving. So that means that before start weaving, the required yarn, it can be silk, it can be jute, it can be cotton, polyester, any of the yarn is taken. They will be colored, the yarn will be colored, and then the process will start. How does the process start? So weaving is the process of interlacing two thread sets, the warp threads, longitudinal, and the filling threads called horizontal. So this is called as a warp threads, which contributes for the longitudinal creation of the sari, and the filling threads, horizontal threads, is called as a weft threads. The warp, which is the set of parallel threads running the length of the fabric, is drawn on the loom during the loom preparation. So warp is fixed on the loom. You can see that this is the warp. This is the warp. It's a fixed set. You can see this is the warp. So then the sense warp is being set on the loom at the time of before start weaving only. That is at the time we call it the loom preparation. When I say loom is prepared for weaving, what does it mean? That warp is already loaded into the loom. That is parallel threads has been fixed to the loom. These are all warp threads. The filling threads are horizontal threads are laid into the cloth structure one row at a time during weaving. So that is, these are called horizontal threads, weft threads. The weft threads are inserted into the warp threads one by one by the weaver, manually in case of hand loom, by the machine using the shuttle in the case of power loom. So horizontal threads one by one will be inserted into the warp threads. Now the beauty is, how do we get the designs using the interleaving of warp and weft threads? You can see the design here. That means that the variation of interlacing sequence of each filling thread with the warp threads is caused by rising subset of warp threads before inserting the filling thread. In the sense, before you insert a weft thread into the warp, you selectively lift the warp threads. That is, you can see that this is a mechanism. You can see here is a mechanism. So you can selectively lift the warp threads so that horizontal thread or the filling thread, sometimes it appears above the warp thread, sometimes it appears below the warp thread. So by creating this, what is called interlacing, so a varied interlacing sequence for several rows results in a pattern. So you get when you start inserting threads like this, after several rows, you get a pattern like this. So I can say that at the intersection of every row and column, so a dot appears. We can map it to the computer graphics as a pixel. So whenever a row and a column intersects, that means that it creates a feeling of a pixel on the cloth. So this is how it happens here. So who are the people involved? The person who weaves, who inserts horizontal thread is called as a weaver. The person who owns these looms is called as a master weaver. The person who supplies the design to these people is called as textile designer. The person who sells is a seller. So the three people are part of the textile industry: weaver, the master weaver, and also called as a textile designer. Loom is not an easy to understand. It requires a lot of technologies are built into this loom. So you require a master weaver to understand and prepare the loom before a saree weaving happens. It's not start like that. You have to prepare the loom. You have to do the harnessing, tying of the thread, so many things you have to prepare. So that preparation depends upon what type of cloth material you're going to produce, what type of designs you're going to get on that. So that is why a knowledge of the loom is possessed by the master weaver. The weaving job is done by the weaver. The designer, textile designer, he would have studied BTech in textiles, or he would have studied the fine arts. He knows the principle of producing a design in the sarees. He prepares a design. You cannot have any image put on the saree directly, because the saree means what? You should have a strength is also required for the saree, and also design should also be there. So there are a lot of principles are there for that to get into this one. So for example, the type of sarees what you get in the Banaras, you may not get in Dharmavaram. The type of sarees what you weave in the Gadwal, you may not get in the Doddaballapur. In the sense, the principles what you use in the loom preparation you start weaving the saree. Now let's start now. My focus is on not on the loom now, how I can produce a design on the saree. What is the method used currently? So now look at this. These are called as cards. So you can see the number of cards are there. So you can see here number of cards are there. So what is the meaning of these cards? For example, the process goes like this. First, a design will be prepared by the textile designer. He will convert the design into what is called graph sheet. That in the sense the design is drawn on the graph sheet. So every pixel is represented by one house on the graph sheet. Then every line of the design will be represented by the punched holes on the card. So holes in the card. Now one card is required to get one line of design on the saree. What is this card will do? Each of these cards will control the lifting of the warp threads. That is a vertical threads, so that wherever the hole is there, I can get a design that a pixel will be appear. Wherever there is no hole, no pixel will appear. By varying the pixel position, by varying the hole positions of the card, we can get the design of the saree. So one card will control the design contribution on a one line of a saree. You can see that number of lines are there. So if I have 45 lines are there, 45 cards are required. Generally, to produce one good design on the saree, you require at least 3000 punched cards required. these cards are joined together one by one. This process called lacing of cards. That is, we join the cards so that once we join the cards, I can mount these cards on the loom. So mounting of punched cards on the loom is the process required to produce the design in the saree. Now, you should understand that the challenges placed in the textile industry, own textile, is lack of technological upgradation. The second challenge is lack of contemporary designs and very tedious and costly process involved to change the design. So lot of work is involved. It is very tedious and costly process involved to change the designs. The third challenge faced by the textile industry is what? Younger generation not willing to continue with this profession because it contributes to low income, hard labor, and age-old methods of operating looms. So these were the challenges faced by the textile industry. Now, so once I know that, how do I get a design on the cloth? Now, how you prepare the cards? You can see that the two ways people prepare the cards. They get a graph sheet. You can say this is the graph sheet. They use a graph sheet and look at the graph sheet every line. That is why they print the graph sheet, so that it will be visible for them one house. They look at the graph sheet, look at the patterns in the graph sheet, then he manually will punch it. He prepares maybe on 10 minutes, he will take one card. Little improved version is what? So they use a manual punching machine. They use the fingers to select which of the holes to be punched, and one line at a time they'll punch it. So it was taking a long time. It was taking more time for them to produce the cards. Almost the whole day they could able to produce only what, 200 cards. If the design is not gone very well in the market, they have to replace the design. Means it would have taken generally 30 days or 1 month to change the design, because they have to manually punch the cards, and it's so laborious. Not everyone can punch. So expertise is required to punch the cards. Then the question, our first product came into existence. So what was our problem statement? Can I do it using computerized system? Can I replace this system using a computerized system? So what is my requirement? I'll be given a textile design. What format textile design will be there? If the textile design can be there in the pen drive, if it's done in the computer, the textile design can be on the graph sheet. If they have done it manually, they have not used a computer to prepare the design, then I'll get a graph sheet. Sometimes we have to look at the old punched cards and take that as a design. That means that my inputs to my system is what? Either the graph sheet, either the punched cards, or the design prepared and stored in a floppy disk, CD, or a pen drive. Now, what are the inputs for me? I'll be given a stack of empty cards. So taking these inputs, can I design a machine which can replace this manual punching? So what is an output I required? The design has to be converted into a series of punched cards automatically. If I can able to do this one, that means that I am bringing certain automation, design automation in the industry, so that they can able to, instead of spending 1 month for the design preparation, they can finish in 2-3 days. It gives a lot of value addition to the textile industry. That was our challenge. So we roam around all the places in Bangalore and other parts of the country where these machines were available. At that time, I'm talking about years back, very long time back. So there's only one place. There's a central government organization, Central Power Research Institute. They had only one machine. That machine was working in a different methodology, but it does satisfying the punching cards. It was imported from Germany. Around 15 lakhs was a cost. So now these machines were not available in the market. That means that only the central government organization will have it. Only the rich and affordable designers or the manufacturers will go there and get the design punching. So we thought that, can we replace the machine? Can we produce a machine using the technologies and the components what is available in India? And available, can we produce that machine at 1/10 of the cost? If it's a 15 lakhs, can I produce at 1.5 lakhs? That was our target. Then our journey started. We successfully, after years of R&D, we were able to produce a machine which looks like this, where I can house the number of cards here, punching cards. I can place the empty cards here. It's a robotic machine. It's a fully computerized system. So electronics was involved to control the different actuating devices, sensors, and other things. So we developed a software. So through the software, loaded in the computer controls complete robotic machine. So what was the facility we have given? We can select a file from a pen drive. So otherwise we can use a manual graph sheet. From there I can take the input, or I can feed the one by one manual cards, that is old cards. That means that I have provided all the three options, and then I can punch the range of cards, so the whole file I can able to punch. So this is the software, we developed it. So we will see one. So what are the features of that software provided? The software is being developed using CHASS.NET. It's loaded in the computer. It's in real time communicates with your the machine. So the software provides all these facilities to load the file, to view the file. It's very important. I have to show the card on the screen, because every time you punch the card, I should see that whether the punching has been happening properly or not. So in between, the punchers will verify whether the card is being punched properly or not. So that is why we have to display at least 3 cards, so that you can verify the previous card, or card previous to that one you can verify. So this is the design fed into the system, converted to the cards, and then goes to the machine for punching. So I can feed, I can create, there's a facilities provided in the software to select the whichever the cards are holes I have to punch. I can able to use that design to get it punched. So a lot of options provided to configure the machine, because these machines, as I said, there are 15 varieties of punch cards are there throughout the India. The punch cards used in Varanasi is different. The punch cards used in Dharmavaram is different. The cards are different. That means that your machine should be able to cater or punch 15 variety of punch card, starting from 448 hooks to 896 varieties of cards are there. So we will see a small video how the working of this one. So sorry for the audio not available. So you can see that. So this is the punch hit. So here contains the robotic finger movements are there. Using the 13 robotic finger movement, we were able to produce so a set of holes in a given line, and then these cards which have been housed will be pushed one by one by the mechanism whatever we built. So as a card moves, the punching of holes can happen in the row wise. So this software, this video, so has shown that we can able to punch around 250 cards per hour. Earlier they were able to punch only around maybe 100 cards or 200 cards per day. Now 250 cards per hour. This 10 times throughput has increased. So what are the technologies we have used to develop this product? Now, so I'm just going to give little details here so that you can follow this method for embedded system or real-time system development. Now, we have used a computer. We have used a computer as a method. So I've used a computer. So we have used the computer as a front end to this embedded system. If I use a PC computer as a part of my embedded system or a smart system, we call it a PC based embedded system. So this computer, whatever you used, so we have loaded with a software which is developed by CHASS.NET. CHASS.NET is very well suitable for PC based embedded system because it works on Windows and developed by the Microsoft and provides a lot of integration with the hardware and provides a lot of good GUI it provides it. So we have used this one, so .NET, so 3.5 framework converts, it works. So that has been loaded into the computer. Then, so we have developed a small electronic unit. So what is this electronic unit will do? This electronic unit contains all the mechanisms what is required to control this electromechanical machine or a robotic machine. So since it's a real time, in the sense the machine is a real time, that means it has to punch the information at a particular speed. I cannot delay it. Since the Windows based systems are not real time, so we have used what is called a one microcontroller. It's a small 8-bit Scilab microcontroller F505 8051 core. We have used it. So what will happen is this machine will send the design which is to be punched to this microcontroller. This microcontroller has got a flash memory. It stores the design and take one card at a time or one line at a time and converts into card information, use the required electronics and control this machine. So what are the parts were there to build this machine? We had a robotic finger to produce a hole, to prepare the holes. How many robotic fingers? 13 robotic fingers were actuated using a stepper motors. So those days, stepper motors were not used. People used to remember only solenoids were used this type of action. Since solenoids were not of that quality, that size was not available in India, and it's very costly when you import. we thought that why can't we use a stepper motor which was used in the floppy disk drive those floppy disk drives we purchased and we unassembled and used the stepper motor. Then we started using those stepper motors in machine because it was a cost effective. So it was the first time in the world people started using stepper motor for using the punching. So fingering action we produced. So challenge was, the challenge was you have to produce so many holes in a very thin. You look at the size of these cards. The size of the cards is very small in the sense. So within this much of size, within this much of width, you have to produce so many holes. So the challenge is how do you house so many stepper motor within this width, and you should be able to punch it. So that has been successfully done by using a double height mechanism and stacking the stepper motor in 2 different heights and making the punches of 2 different sizes we have done. So that was the first time punching machines were used to punches which is of a 2 different height, because we should be able to accommodate more stepper motor in a given size. So that we could be able to do it. And then card has to be pushed one row at a time. How do you produce the pushing mechanism? Those are the days servo motors are very costly. If you adopt a servo motor, the product would have been very costly. It would have not been affordable with the public. So we have introduced for the first time a mechanism called electrical clutch and brake, and a mechanical rack has been used. So, and AC solenoid. So by using a combination of electrical clutch, the brake, AC solenoid, and the mechanical rack, we could able to produce the moment of the rack moment. So the rack moment is used to push the card 1 row at a time. In the later models, servo motors have been adopted. That is also used to push the card 1 row at a time. Now you can observe that a lot of sensors are available here, proximity sensors. These sensors will give us an indication when I should send the next card information to the head mechanism, so that I can able to punch the data only when it is ready for punching. So for that, a lot of sensors has been accumulated into this machine. So we have used the motor for making the punch head moving up and down. So these are the different technologies we have used to develop this robotic machine. So it contains a personal computer loaded with a GUI software. It contains a real-time electronic control unit which works in real time, microcontroller based unit. Then it contains an electromechanical system which contains the electrical component, electronic component, and mechanical components. So I can call the whole system involves the technology from computer science. It involves the technology from electrical and electronic sciences and mechanical sciences. So all these branches were involved in developing this product. Today, this product has been used number of places throughout the country. Some of these machines are even exported to the Malaysia also. So it has been, this machine is being used extensively by the weavers to punch their cards. Now let's go to the second product. So now look at this one. Look at this. What is the problem with this system? Okay, we have automated punching of the cards, so that I have increased the value addition to the textile industry, so that the punching will be faster, so that they can able to change the designs the faster. Look at the cards. The loom can house these cards. How many cards you can house it? There is a limitation is there. If the number of cards are more, what will happen? There is no place for housing these cards. That means that I have to require so many cards are required to produce a large design. So how do you produce a large design? So large design requires lot of cards are there required. If you want to produce a bigger design, you want a bigger cards are required. So because of the limitation in the size of the card, they could not able to produce the design and the whole width of the sari. Do you know that the width of the sari will be holding 5,000 threads? That is, how many threads will constitute the width of the saris? 5,000 warp threads are there. Now, how many holes are there in this card? If you look at this card, there are maximum 896 or 900 holes are there. So in a sense, I'm able to control only 900 threads among the 5,000 threads in the sari. So then what about the remaining threads? So same the design which is there in the sari, so which is part of the sari, which contributes to, let's say, 1/10 of the portion will be repeated in other portions of the sari. That is why the older saris or always will have a repeated design. Whatever the design you have in 1/10 of the sari, the same design will be repeated in other portions of the sari. So Now, what is a trend? I want to have a bigger design. I want to have a human picture. I want to have a God picture on the sari. I want to have a nature picture on the sari. Then how can you do it? What is the method? Increase the size of the cart. When you increase the size of the cart, if you can you make it 10 times the cart? It is impossible to house the 10 times the size of the cart into this one. I want to have a very big design, maybe let's say 5,000 lines design I want to have in a cart and a sari. The whole sari will have a different picture. Can I produce it? It is not possible because you cannot house the 5,000 cards in the machine. So the limitation of the punching cards, the cost involved in the punching card, that means that one punch card nearly cost about 5 rupees. So 5,000 rupees is the investment required for 1,000 cards design. If normally if you take a 3,000 cards, that means that around 20,000 rupees is the investment required if you want to change one design. So because of these three factors, using the punching cards was not a solution to get a good design saris, variety of design saris, to change the designs as and when you required. Even today, if you visit, more than 5 million looms are there in India. 99% of the looms still have the cards. So we thought few years back, why can't we replace the whole of this mechanism into a computer system? Can we replace this by a smart system which will produce the designs as we wish? Now, what is my challenge? So I will be given a design which is prepared in the computer textile design softwares. So I'll be given a design in a pen drive. Then I have a mechanism, that is I have a loom. The loom I'm not going to replace. The loom will be there as it is. Only the portion of the loom which transfers the design to the sari, that mechanism is called as a jacquard. Throughout the world, they call this mechanism called a jacquard. Jacquard is a mechanism which is used to convert the design information which is embedded in the punching cards onto the cloth. Mechanism is called as jacquard. So I don't want to replace the loom. I will retain the loom as it is. Only I will replace what is called as a jacquard. It is jacquard designed using punching cards I have to replace. Now I want to produce a computerized system. That means that I want to fit a computer itself into every loom, so that what will happen, loom become modern. I can able to produce the designs as and wish, as and when I want it. So look at that. So we work for 3-4 years on this project to make it happen. So this is the loom what we have produced. You can look at this design, and this design of a loom is completely cumbersome here. That means that you require a lot of power and might. Only the male operators can operate this type of loom, because you have to climb up, you have to house the cards, you have to change the cards for a design changing and everything. Not women who can able to operate this type of looms. Now look at this one. It is completely modernized. The lower portion of the loom we have kept as it is. I am not changing the lower portion of the loom. It is same loom what is used in the industry. Now only we replace the jacquard which is houses the cards and replaced by a computer system. This computer system now can able to supply the designs on the cloth whatever you wish. Now what do you require for this? You have to just give a design in the pen drive. This can able to weave on this one. It was not an easy job. Why it was not an easy job? What were the challenges faced? These looms are operated at different temperatures throughout the country. Extreme temperatures will be there in different parts of the country. So those temperatures the system should be able to withstand, it should be able to work. As I said, now to produce 900 thread control, 900 threads if I want to control, I require how many magnets or solenoids or a stepper motor? 900 stepper motor, solenoids or magnets are required. In a case of a punching machine, we were controlling only robotic fingers of how many? Only 13. Now what is the volume here? 900. Now since why people go for this type of jacquard? They go for this type of computerized jacquard because they can have a wider variety of this one. That means that what is the width of the sari? 5,000 threads. 5,000 threads I should be able to control. 5,000 magnets. Look at the volume. 5,000 magnets I should be able to control. And if one magnet failure, you can see the reflection of the sari. That sari cannot be sold. So in the sense, you should be able to have so much of accuracy for controlling 5,000 magnets. What is the other challenge? Every magnet or every stepper motor requires a power. Just imagine what is the power consumption required for 5,000 stepper motor the magnets. Can you able to handle that much of power? And what is electromagnetic interference it produces? Can my system able to work it? And these looms are not housed inside the houses. In case of a punching machine, it is generally inside the chamber, inside the house. But these looms are in the sheds. In the sense, the environment there is what not as as the environment what you can find inside an house. A lot of motors will be running, a lot of different AC devices will be working. The electricity is not is perfect. So a lot of a lot of obstructions will come for the machine to work function properly, so that you should able to produce a machine which can able to work consistently, so they produce a design of your choice. And you know that these machines in Salem and other parts of Tamil Nadu, they work in two shifts. In the sense, morning one person will work, in the afternoon, in the evening another person is going to work. 24 hours the machine will be running, they will not switch off the machine. So that can your system, electronic system and computer system, can it work? That was a challenge. We failed many times, filed for the second time, filed for the third time, but we took as a challenge and we started trials and trials one after the other varying, and we could be able to successfully manufacture this product. So this jacquard, this mechanism, what the computerized jacquard is called as electronic jacquard. They use a word called electronic jacquards. So this jacquard, we have used some special technology called as a master slave architecture and a design partitioning. So this was India's first electronic jacquard. So using this technology available. Europe, these machines were available, but they are not affordable. Again, it's around 10 lakhs. They are not suitable for looms available in India. So we made electronic jacquard suitable for Indian looms and Indian hand looms, so that at a reasonable cost, or 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, he can able to go for a computerized jacquard. Now we will go into the technology. What is the technology behind this electronic jacquard? What was the tools and the methods we have used to develop this product? So now, as I said, if you look at this, there are two components there. One is the electronic jacquard, and to operate this loom, you require a panel. That is, there's a computer is required. We have fixed the computer here. So they are not in the same position. I cannot put this computer at this place because it will be very far for the weaver. So there will be minimum 2 to 3 meters gap will be there between this position and this position. So I should have a computer. Where is your file system? Where is your files stored, design files? It has to be stored here only. Where is the position panel for the user to operate? That is, select the design portion and weave it here only. So the total job of implementing electronic jacquard now consists of two challenges. One is develop this computer which can handle the designs, and again develop electronic jacquard data processing system. Data processing system in the sense, the system which receives the design and supplies the data to the 5,000 magnets at a time and make it happen at the speed at which the loom operates. Loom generally operates at 180 RPM. 180 times per minute it will operate. That means that you should be able to cater the design to the 5,000 magnets at a time without a fail. If you're not able to cater within that time, what will happen? You are missing that line of the design. So we divided the problem into two parts. One is HMI interface, human machine interface, and what is called as a design station. We call it a design station, or a handheld we call. Other is what? The data storage and drivers for the magnets. So we made into two parts. So this is called as a master. That is a place where the master operates. What does the feed the master? Master feeds the design to the weaver feeds the design to the master. That is a computer. They're here. Now, how do you design the bigger box? How do you design this box? See, many times the people who purchase the electronic jacquard, they go with only what is called as 1,000 hooks. Each hook represent 1 pixel. So they will go for 1,000 hooks jacquard. In the sense, they will repeat the same 1,000 design into other portions of the sari, because the cost investment is less, because they have to purchase only 1,000 magnets. So afterwards they go for the extension of the design, the extension of this jacquard. So we thought that the best way is design the upper side, that is a data processing system, into what is called multiple slaves. So the customer will purchase the one slave and one master. Tomorrow, if he has to require to extend the design capability of electronic jacquard, he'll go for another slave. Again, there's a requirement comes, you go for the third one based on the number of hooks or the pixels of the design. So now we have to take the design master has to cut the design into different portions at the runtime and supply the design to the different slaves. And each slave is responsible for what? Only weaving or controlling the magnets responsible to produce this design. What is an advantage of doing this one? That means that each microcontroller, that is a slave, or we call as a data card, which you're able to control only 1000 magnets. So what will happen? The processing speed will be very high. So you can able to distribute the workload among the different slaves. So that is why we call this design concept, this methodology is called as 4 features of the 4 Ds. One is a design partitioning method. Who will do the design partitioning? Master will do that. Distribution workload among the multiple slaves. Each slave is nothing but a microcontroller unit. Designed for a future. He will invest only for a small portion. Tomorrow you'll go for a other portion, so that it will none of the hardware or electronic system or a computer will be obsolete when you go for a upgradation. So generally this method is not available in the foreign imported systems. If you purchase one machine, tomorrow you want to upgrade it, you have to throw that jacquard, electronic jacquard, and you have to go for the new electronic jacquard. What is the advantage of this technology? Nothing is obsolete. You're just purchasing one more slave and inserting and making it electronic jacquard. So go for higher end, go for a higher number of folks. So dual compatibility in the sense. Now, so I will explain this dual compatibility in the next slide. Now, so this is how we manufacture it. So this is one slave. This is one slave. We call as a data card, because the job of this is what receive the design partition, supply the data to the magnets. You can see that these are the different cards which is going to drive the magnets. Generally, magnets are available in a one housing. In the sense, 8 magnets will come in one housing. We call it a magnet module, one magnet module. So this card, each card will control one magnet module. So many such magnet modules arranged in the rows and column. Each card will able to deliver the data or control set of magnet modules. So these are called data cards. So what is the technology we have used to develop the data card? Since it is not going to handle the file system, it is not going to show the data on the screen, you require only 8-bit microcontroller is good enough. So we have taken a Scilabs 8051 core 505 as a microcontroller. What is the job of this one? Receive the data from the master using what is called, so using the interface. So we have provided an interface, communication interface. Through this, you can receive the data from the master, then store the data in the serial data flash. So this is a data memory, you can store it inside. So then at the runtime, what will happen? Whenever the power goes, you restart. You should remember till what the design has been woven. For that, we have provided a battery backup, RAM logic we have provided. So then you have to drive the so many magnets. So we have used relay port logic. So this the logic is a very typical. So number of relay cards has been used. So to control the different magnet modules, sensor logic, and automatically make the motor. That is a loom start, stop. We have given AC motor actuation is given. Then the shuttle control. If it's in a hand loom, you're supposed to control the movement of the weft thread also. Horizontal thread automatically has to move to the left to the right and right to the left. That is control also. I should be able to do it. So one of the advantage of these cards is we take the power supply from 15 volts, which is from a Kozen power supply from Japan, and we derive all different power supplies required for this different ICs and the logics here, so that the board is what very compact. Look at this. The whole board requires one power supply. That's all. So we are given another power supply for increasing the redundancy. So these data cards are designed with automobile grade microcontroller, and we have tested that these will work continuously for 1 month. Even we have not switched off these modules for 1 month, 30 days continuously running. It is not going to hang. That means that you have to design the board in such a way that it should not be get affected by electromagnetic interference. You should not be hang because of the heating. You should be able to work at all the temperature ranges. I should work continuously without hanging. Then only the system will work. Otherwise, your system is going to fail. So such a design system is done completely. It is an Indian design. We did it here. The whole design fabrication happened in India. Now, so once this data card is ready, now our product is ready. Now it starts working. Now you can see the data card, which has been housed to control the different magnets there in the upper box. That is a magnet modules box. Now this is the we have used a computer. We have used industrial computer, which has been imported from Taiwan Advantech. This is industrial grade computer. In the sense, normal computers what used in the punching machine you cannot use in this product, because why? These products are working in the remote villages, in the remote sheds. Normal computers will hang and it will not work at all. So you have to have a special computers. So we have got a special computers which has been loaded with a WinCE and Windows XP embedded, and there we have ported the software to make as a front end for this loom. Now this computer software will interact with the software which is running here. What software is running here? we have used an embedded C to develop the complete software required to work on the data card. What are the different modules it has got it? The master and the electronic card. In between, the communication happens. So the data card hardware will have a microcontroller. It has an auto configure module. It should be able to configure automatically based on the number of hooks. When you go for upgradation, you should be able to configure automatically. So Loom runtime status has to be collected and to be stored and should be sent to the master. And you should have a facility to provide test and the mode setting, because if something is not working in the field, to have a test routines built into this one so that you can able to test the Loom electronic card working without taking this whole module to the factory. So all these routines has been inbuilt. The communication between the master and the electronic card has been achieved using the two protocols we have used. One is RS-232 and that is a RS-485 protocols is being used. Now, so I will show you the first electronic card which been developed, which has been visited by the Textile Minister of Andhra Pradesh, and he appreciated that that product. I just run this product. So you can see that this is the computer. This is the computer. I said it is being imported from Advantech, Taiwan. This is being loaded with the software what we developed. So you can see the repetition of the design because we use only 900 hooks, 900 pixels. It's a power loom. That is why automatically the threads are inserted automatically horizontal threads. So these warp threads are actuated by the magnets which is being provided here. You can see that these are the magnet modules. This is the magnet module. These magnet modules has been fed by the data cards. These are the data cards. These are the data cards. So you can see the working of the whole electronic card. So it was effort of almost 1 to 2 years. It was a contribution of mechanical engineers, electronic engineers, software engineers. The whole of the integration happened and it was a very successful testing was done. Now, so the challenge was the cost of these industrial computers. For example, these industrial embedded computers, embedded PCs are very high. So to get this computer, it will be around 1 lakh rupees is this embedded computer. Even the lower end, it will be started at 80,000 rupees. So if I invest 1 lakh rupees on this computer itself, my product will not be affordable. That was a challenge. So we were able to successfully manufacture an electronic card, but the challenge was we could not afford a computer which is imported and loading the software, our software that. So then we thought, why can't we design our own computer itself? This is a completely new ball game because we have to design the computer itself from the motherboard, display, everything. It's nothing but an operating system. You have to develop an operating system, your own small operating system, because we cannot purchase an operating system, again, increase the cost. So then our journey start to develop our own handheld, our own computer. So you can see that this is our own computer we manufactured. It took almost 1 year to design the motherboard, to design the display, design the OS code, design the program and everything. So the design of the motherboard looks like this. So we have used Cortex, ARM Cortex M3 microcontroller LPC1768. So because this microcontroller we have chosen such that I should be able to have a file system for the file system for the USB file system should be there, and have a file system should be there for SD card also. So we provided a support for SD card. We provided support for the USB for this system. We provided an Ethernet support so that we can able to IoT enablement or networking of all the electronic cards are possible. So we have given Ethernet. So Ethernet PHY is being used. So, and then we have provided an interface between the RS-485 and RS-232 so that user can use either RS-485 protocol or RS-232 protocol. So this motherboard is complete by itself because why? It has got a pen drive support. It has got an SD card support to load your file system, to sit your file system. And this has got around 500 kilobytes of memory. So where I am able to house the complete code, OS and application code is being inserted into this memory inside. All the design files are stored in the SD card, which is connected inside. And we have provided a pen drive to copy the designs from outside. That is, the user can copy the design from the pen drive to local storage called SD card. What is the one advantage, uniqueness of this product, which is it protects the designs for the viewer. The problem in the industry is what? People copy the design from one loom to another loom. Then what will happen? You would have invested a lot of money in preparation of the design and particular sari. If somebody copies your design and you finish, your all investment has gone. Somebody will compete your design, so that cost will come down. So that we have made this technology. What is the technology? So pen drives used to copy the designs. After that, where is the storage? SD card. SD card sits inside the box and it's completely sealed, so that nobody can copy the design. You can copy the design from outside to inside, but there's no way you can copy the design from inside to outside. So the designs are protected, and also the designs are encrypted, so that it will, even if you copy it also, it will not be able to, they cannot use the designs unless a particular code is entered in a handheld computer. So this is, we provide an LCD connector, a graphical LCD is provided, so that you can able to view the designs also on the LCD screen. A matrix keyboard is provided to interact with this one, and we also provided a touch interface, so that the commonly used keys are being made as a touch. So you can look at this one. So this is a front interface we are given for the viewers. So these are our, we have replaced this by a touch keys, so that these are the common keys which is used by the viewer. That means to make the design go one line up, make the design come one line down, start the weaving, stop the weaving, or all the different menu operations has been provided here. So what are the facilities we have provided? So I can copy the designs, I can see the design on the screen, I can transfer the design from this master to the slaves after partitioning the design. I can weave the design, I can display online. When weaving is going on, it keeps displaying which number is weaved, or which line is getting weaved. So I can go to a particular portion, go to a particular pick means I can go to a particular portion of a design and I can weave that portion only. I can configure the loom so that I can upgrade the loom. I don't require to throw away this hardware. Auto checking, it has got a algorithms, so that if it is something error comes, it can able to check and rectify itself, or it can demonstrate, it can show some error codes are shown. So the whole this thing has been manufactured in India. It's all the components are being assembled in India, and we made this computer ready. Now once this computer ready, now we were so confident, because the first, when we have used imported computers, we were not confident much, because we have to depend on the computer supplied by the imported party. Now we are so confident that because the microcontroller data unit which is there in the upside and the handheld computer which is there, all manufactured in India, we can able to handle the servicing. Any issues comes, we can able to solve it. So now these machines are installed in number of looms. Look at this one shed. It has been installed in Mudiredepalli. So where they supply the saris to the Kanchipuram market. So there is 18 such looms are there. We have housed all these looms there, and which work completely electronically in the computerized system. Now I just show a small video for that. So you can look at that. The weavers are weaving the saris. Okay, so now, so we could able to see how we were successful in developing electronic jacquard. After successful deployment of these electronic jacquards and make the automation, design automation so affordable to the people, the problem is people were not able to use this electronic jacquard because no proper software tools is available to combine these designs properly and feed to this one. That in the sense, before you start using this one, you require a proper design in the pen drive is required. So designing a software, designing one textile design is not so easy. Look at this sari. Look at this sari. More expensive saris had elaborate geometric, floral, and figurative ornaments or brocades created at the loom as part of the fabric. If you look at this one, so there is a lot of components are there to prepare one sari design. So you have a brocade design, you have a pallu, you have butta, you have a border. If you take particular sari, minimum, you believe it or not, there are 24 design components. Small designs will be there to produce one sari. You believe it or not, 24 different design components are required to prepare one sari. So if you have so many design components are there, how do you feed them into the copy into the computer and make it work? It was not possible. So people were not comfortable in using the electronic jacquard because They said that there is no tool is available to incorporate all these designs. So next our journey started to make it adoptable in the market, to make it affordable, and to make it extensively used by the people, common viewers. So we developed a software tool. So what we did, these are the different stages required in saree preparation. The first stage is what? User will give the different components or images which forms a complete design of your saree. For example, how many images? I said 24 different design components you have to give to the software tool. This software tool, what it does, it does some image processing. In a sense, it joins them, it extends them, it border adjustment will do lot of, you have to combine all the 24 components into one design component, so that you have to do some image processing there. Now, after preparing all those combinations of images into one design, then you have to what is called as, the silk sarees are popular for what's called ornamentation. What do you mean by ornamentation? If you look at a silk saree, you can see that one design overlapping on the other basic design on the saree. That means that you can say jari. Jari means silk threads, or jari designs or meena designs are overlap on the basic designs. This is called ornamentation. That means that you have to overlap one design and the other design to get the richness to the saree, so that you have to mix multiple design. So after image processing, we have provided a tool called mixing tool, which will overlap the designs in such a way that you can get an ornamentation effect on the saree. Then after doing that one, then you have to prepare a file. So what type of file I have to prepare? I have to prepare a file so which can able to suitable for the electronic jacquard to understand. So we have to do the manufacturing. So then we did all this process. These are the different process I did. So this is called accepting and doing the image processing. This is called mixing. We'll mix multiple designs and produce ornamentation. You can see that this is an ornamentation. So if you look at the saree, you get a beautiful design. It's called ornamentation. So then we have to prepare the loom to work automatically, in the sense loom should be told when jari thread has to be used. Loom should be told when silk thread has to be used, because a loom will be using 4 different types of threads as an horizontal thread. Sometimes it uses one thread. It uses sometimes silk thread, sometimes jari thread, sometimes meena 1, sometimes meena 2, like that. So that shuttle control, that which thread to use, that should be live on the runtime. You have to feed it. That is we have used here. So then this, whatever the design you have should be supplied, should be arranged in a pattern suitable for the magnetic module. So we have to process these all design pixels in such a way that it should be suitable to drive the magnets. See, the pixel 1 here should map to where? The pixel 1 here in the magnetic module here. See, the pixel 2 here should go to what? So the module number 114, the magnet called 2. In the sense, the pixels of the design will map to the different magnets of the different magnetic module. So you have to, at the runtime, take the design, arrange them, what is required for the magnetic module, then you have to push the data. Then only you will be able to get the proper design in the saree. That means that you have to prepare a file for that properly. That we call as a manufacturing file. That means the design file has to be converted into manufacture file, suitable for manufacturing. So we did this. So finally, so this software has been made with a lot of features. We have used a special facility in the C#.NET called Strides to make it faster. It can able to handle very large images of 5,000 lines, images of 6,000 lines. It can handle in a seconds. So this software tool is being used by number of textile designers and master weavers of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu, reducing the time in design preparation for electronic jacquard. When this software tool has become popular, now people started using electronic jacquards extensively. Because why? They have got a tool, they can try different methods. Now even the weavers don't go to the designers. They are so knowledgeable. They will have the software loaded into their laptops, and they will only change. They will change the border. See that we are given a multiple border. And the runtime, I can change the border of a saree. I'll be keep running this border. If I don't want this border for the next saree, I'll go with another. So user can able to play with the different design component, the runtime, and with the software tool, and produce a variety of sarees. Today, when you go to visit any of the silk merchants, silk shop, just inquire there. Is the saree, if it's a very big design, just check with them. Is it been manufactured using electronic jacquard? You ask them. They say yes. You cannot produce large designs, variety of designs, long designs without electronic jacquards. If you are purchasing one saree which is of that design, that means that it's manufactured using what? Electronic jacquard. So this is the journey of our second product. Now I'll go to third product, third innovation we have provided into this industry. Look at this woman who is preparing a mat, grass mat. She is preparing it. A team, is it audible? Hello. I'm just checking it. Is it audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So a team from IIT Madras has visited RVC. Dr. Srinath sir has called me that a team from IIT Madras has come, Director Rutaxel and head of the department, electronics department has come. I was really shocked. How come a team from IIT Madras come to RVC? So generally we go there to get training. So I met them. It was in the, I think, administration block. Then they asked one question. We have heard that you have developed electronic jacquard for the saris. We have got one problem in the rural villages of Tamil Nadu. They are taking a lot of time to prepare the mats. Only few women could able to prepare the mats of a particular design. Only 1 or 2 women are there in the village who can able to weave the fonts, in the sense letters on the mat, whereas these mats are compulsorily required in Tamil Nadu for the weddings. In the wedding, no, they gift this mat, which has got a name of a bride and the groom. So the bride and the groom's names are there on the mat. They said nobody is there to weave these varieties. They say they give an order, it will take 2 months to give one mat. Can you develop a machine which can manufacture the mats? We were expertised in manufacturing electronic jacquard. Now what they're asking, whole machine, in the sense loom also. They said whole machine, because you can see that there is no loom is here. Now how she is working? She is working, stretching her legs, using her hands with a difficult sitting position. She is able to weaving the mat. She cannot sit here more than 2 hours. Every 2 hours she will get up. She was taking nearly 30 days, almost 15 to 30 days, depends upon the hours she dedicate. She can able to produce one mat, and she cannot produce the designs whatever you want, because she has memorized certain designs. Only those designs should able to be. Not everyone in the village can able to produce all designs. A particular woman can produce 2 designs, another woman can produce another 2 designs, like that. They are memorized only those designs. Now they're telling that we want to remove this problem. Government of India has sponsored this amount for this. Can you develop a complete mission so that they can sit comfortably? They can use the designs supplied by the customer. They can produce a mat. I said yes immediately, without even a hesitation. I said yes. 15 minutes, our meeting is over. So they given us 6 months time to given one product prototype. So this is the product which came out of this one. Now this is the product we developed in joint collaboration with IIT Madras. So this is a loom. Do you believe that? No loom in the world is available at this cost. It's 80,000 rupees. The whole of the loom is less than 1 lakh rupees. The whole loom, in the sense, we call it a computerized loom. Look at the computer. Look at the computer here. Look at the data processing unit there. Look at the magnets there. Look at the loom here. Look at the easy to operate, the leg operation, and she can sit. The power consumption is less than 75 watts. You can fix a solar panel and make the whole loom work without the power itself. You don't require a KB power supply also, it can able to work. So this mission we developed. I went to that village, we sat with those people, and we could able to manufacture the mats of variety of designs. Whatever you wish, you can get that designs in this mat. So I will show you one demonstration of that loom. So this is the loom installed in Pattamadai village, Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu. So you can look at the loom. So look at the loom. It is housed in a shed. There is no proper enclosure. This is available. It's just installed in a shed. Now Government of India has supplied the funds to manufacture those looms and supplying to the different villages of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. We have manufactured around 12 such looms and installed different parts of the Kerala and Tamil Nadu villages. Now they can able to weave almost 3 days one mat. So their earning has increased from 3,000 a month to 10,000 a month. Now it has generated employment to so many women folk there. See that they can able to feed the design. The design, whatever you require, set in a mobile. They will download in a mobile, connect the mobile to our handheld, copy the design, start weaving it. Whichever the design you want, they can produce that mat. This is the special threads are used here. These threads are called organic grass. Organic grass, Tamrapanni river flows in that area. In the river, these grass threads, they prepare, they dye the threads, they cut each of the thread into minute part. That is why it's called fine korai mat. It's called fine korai. Variety of designs you can get in a saree. So easy. We have supplied almost 2 years back. They were able to operate by themselves. They were able to repair by themselves without our involvement. So these are the different the mats they have produced. These are the different mats they have produced. Now, so the second last tool. So I will conclude by another this tool. Now, what is they asked is they want to produce the names on the mat automatically. Say Vigneshwaran. If they give a name Vigneshwaran type, they need to convert into design. They said we cannot invest money. We cannot go to the Salem or Chennai to get the design ready. We have to do ourselves. Can you support a software tool? Then we started the software tool. So this is a software tool. We developed it. They can type the name, whatever the letters they require. So we have used some algorithms. So every letter we have prepared a files. We have prepared a files in a folder. So each time they can select a particular letter, the name of the file, the name of the letter, and the name of the file name is same. So that if they want A, they can select A. So each time they type the letters from the folder, they select the file, that name will be prepared. Then automatically, then what we do, we have provided so many options are provided to convert this name into automatically textile design. So within a fraction of a time, they will just enter it, convert it to textile design, copy it to the handle, and they produce the designs. So we have used some algorithms. So using these algorithms, they can able to produce. You can see that the names coming on the mat. This was a great tool. It really helped them to prepare what is called named mats. Named mats. So earlier only one lady was there, whole of the village. Now everyone, whoever wants, they can produce a named mats. These are the mats and the sizes produced there. These are the different mats been produced using that machine. So this concludes my talk. So thank you very much for patience listening.
Really, you have given a great insight into the development and finding the what are the problems we Jacquard system. Just to brief what you have given, you have started with a control system or variable hooks of an electronic Jacquard, and you have given a overview of textile industry in terms of how the GDP is going to affect, and process in textile industry, challenges in textile industry, textile design, punch cards with embedded design, and PC-based real-time embedded system, and how you replace the card by system, like smart systems. Came up with the master slave architecture and design positioning with the 4 Ds and designing of a data card, and you came up with a very innovative and also the cost-effective way so that the people can utilize this and they can lead their life, and also they can manufacture the saris as well as the mats also. Really, you have given a great insight into how you can utilize the technology, so it is helpful for the humankind to ease out as well as to earn and also lead a good life, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are going to take up the questions one by one.
So I have got, yeah. So shall I start? Shall I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So I have received one question. How did you decide the hardware component that needed to be used for this? Is it audible? Hello.
Yeah, please, sir.
Hello. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So see, you can classify all of the embedded systems into 2 types of systems. One is a PC-based embedded system, other is called a standalone embedded systems. Generally, my practice, my experience in the last 10 years, it has shown that only 2 types, either PC-based embedded system or standalone embedded system. PC-based embedded systems are very popular in the Western countries. This is not popular in the student community in India. So if you look at the Western countries, number of projects PC-based equipment they have developed. They use a PC as a core part of their embedded system. They use a PC and a small size microcontroller and the required electromechanical interfaces, and they develop a product. If you take on healthcare, this is very much suitable, because if you use a PC, what is an advantage? You have a bigger view is there. You can see the graphics, good user interaction, everything happens. But when you develop a product which will be installed in the remote places and the areas where it is not congenial to use the computers, then you have to have a standalone missions. Standalone means, for example, in the punching machine, what I have demonstrated, I've used PC-based embedded system because punching machines are used inside the house. In the second case, where we install the electronic cards, it's in the open villages, it's in the village sheds. There, its computer is not affordable, and it's also cost increases. Manufacturing your own small computers will always an advantage. It's called standalone systems, because we have manufactured at 10,000. That computer, whatever shown, its cost is 10,000 rupees. It is not compared to the computer, because you don't require a OS. You put your own startup codes and everything, you are putting it. So that's why it depends upon the requirement. You have to choose which is suitable. Either standalone system, which is used based on your own microcontroller based motherboard, or you have to use a PC as a front end to your system.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, another question I asked, what is the scope of electronic jacquard system to be used for patterned woolen knitwear and jerseys? You can, wherever the loom concept is there, wherever the warp lifting is there, you can use this one. So it is not used for printed designs. A design, if it's printed on the cloth, you don't require the electronic jacquard. Wherever weaving is required, for example, knitwear, you can use it. So there are special machines are there. We don't call looms. There's special knit weaving computerized embroidery machines are there. That is different. So they work in the same principle, but you don't require this concept called warp. Warp lifting is not required there. That's a different kind of machines. It's called embroidery machines, knitwear machines, but they work in the same principle.
Yeah. Other questions? One question from my side, sir.
Yeah.
Suppose I am a viewer and I am going to invest, say, let us suppose 80,000 or 1 lakh rupees. Sir.
Okay.
In how many months I am able to recover that, so that
for a MAT machine, we have calculated with the IIT Madras. We made a report. 1.8 months, 1 year 8 months is a return on investment.
Okay.
So generally, take 2 years is a return on investment.
Okay. Any questions from attendees?
Hello, any questions?
Kindly please type your question so that we can read out and the questions will be answered. Please type the questions in the chat window.
Some question.
How
Machine patented. Okay, I'll start with the first question. So, is your machine patented? Yes, it is in the final stage of approval. So we have got request for after the patent is published.
One more question, sir. How do we convert the manual cards to hooks?
And it's in the final stage of approval of the patent. And the second question is, how do we convert a manual cards into hooks?
Hooks, yeah.
So for this itself, there's a software we have developed on tool we developed. You can look at the card and type the holes, fill the holes. That is one method. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. And any image processing libraries used?
That's what. Yeah. So there's a one way. Without image processing, we have provided one method. The user can feed the card information using a window where we display the empty card. User can able to use the arrow keys. He can able to fill the holes. That is one method. Second method is using C# and aforge.net. aforge.net provide some processing to identify the blobs and converting the blobs into a holes, and we prepared also a tool that can use a scanner, prepare the cards, scan the cards using image processing A4.NET tool library. We have converted into design also. So two methods are possible, either manual feeding the design or scanning the design using image processing and converting into a design. Both are possible. Both the tools are available.
I think sir has already given the cost of the machine. So once again, if you are able to give, what would be the total cost of the machine? You already explained.
So it is around.
Please go ahead, sir.
It's a, for example, if you take a matte machine, it's around 1 lakh. If you take electronic jacquard for sarees, it will comes around minimum 1.5 lakhs to 4 lakhs. That depends upon the number of hooks, number of pixels you want to control. If you want to control, for example, latest we have got one order from KSIC, Mysore Silks. We have got a latest order. We are going to install 20 such machines in the Mysore Silks in the Mysore. So they have given order for biggest design. In the sense, biggest design means complete 5,000 threads are under control, so that you can have the whole saree width will be one design. So that is 5,000 hooks. It's the highest size hooks which can be fitted into any loom. So we got an order from Mysore Silks. So we are in the process of manufacturing and developing that machine now.
Considering the new technologies like wireless connections.
Yeah, we are working, making it IoT enabled, so that I can sit here, I can transfer the design, I can monitor my machine, so I can able to change the configuration of my machine. We are working in last 1 year, 1.5 years. A lot of students are contributing for the IoT enablement of this product.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from attendees? Kindly type in the chat window. If there are no more questions, is there any input from Badrinath sir to our students, so that in what?
Yeah, so I would like to say that whatever you learned in design thinking, really those methodologies will be useful in identifying a product. But don't stop at the last stage of a design thinking. The journey starts from there. To be successful product in India, you require a lot of spending time with the customer, adaptability. You have to put an effort in adopting the product at the customer side. You have to visit many number of times to the customer, make him understand, change the software, change certain facilities to suit him, to convince him to use a product. Convince the customer to use your product, number one. Number two, very good service support is expected in Indian customers. You should be able to put your efforts on that. The third is, don't stop the development towards the development to improve the product. Some of my friend was telling, a product is nothing but like a marriage. Once you develop a product, it's like a marriage. You should keep improving with the product, and you should not stop. The moment you stop the improvement, the product dies in the market. So, and you require a lot of marketing effort. So marketing is not taken by marketing person. Technical person should involve in the marketing. So you should be able to compare how this product is better than the imported products. You should be able to identify and convince the customer. So these are some of the qualities required by the students who want to start up some entrepreneurial activities. So I think that there's a lot of scope for entrepreneuring now to develop smart systems and smart machineries. So go ahead and be successful in that. I wish you all the success in that.
One last question, sir.
Yeah.
How do we take our ideas to development about how to get investment, and should we partner?
I feel that, so for example, before I continue that, I would like to thank many of the industries I associated with them for manufacturing this product. It starts from Aruna Industries, Sai Handloom Industries, Venkateshwara Industries, Abhi Systems, IRO Technologies, GCS Technologies. I have associated with many number of companies to make this product reach to throughout the country. So now we have the machines in Surat, we have the machines in Varanasi, every part, because you will have a collaboration is required. I say 100% you require a collaboration to make it successful. You cannot do it on your own only. Both financially, you require some investment if required. To start with, don't take too much investment. It's not required. It's your technical ability is required, and making the customer use the product is required. Only when you go for manufacturing, mass manufacturing, then only you may require the investment.
Thank you, sir. If there are no more questions, I thank Dr. Badrinath sir.
Thank you, Rohit sir.
I have given applications of computers in design, automation, or handlooms and power looms textiles. We have started from problems, identifying the problems in the rural areas, and how we can use the computation as well as the digital system so that the work can be done easier, and also we are able to manufacture and also lead a good life with a small investment also. Thank you very much for a great insight, sir. Thank you for your sharing knowledge as well as your time, valuable time with us, and answering many of the questions posed by the participants also. Thank you very much from IEEE Computer Society from and also RVC. And now I hand over to who is the Riksha.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Request all attendees to fill the feedback form. It has been added in the chat. We'd like you to fill the feedback form so that we can mail certificates to the ones who have attended.
So
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very
From my
much.
side, thank you, Raghavendra Prasad, Ashok Kumar, Sir Risha, Nishchal, and the whole team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.